One thing that I don't like about my channel is my setup. I'm so envious and jealous of all the other really good YouTubers out there who make a really good effort at creating such a nice background, a nice appealing background which you guys can look at, and I'm just stuck with this every single time. Yeah, I'm just looking at it today thinking, thanks for stopping by at my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today's video is going to be a first ever on my channel regret buy. I've had a good look through my stuff and it's not that much. Obviously there's things that I'm bored with but not a regret, so these are things which haven't actually worked out for me, not that I'm bored with or I don't use anymore, because obviously eyeshadow palettes, they get forgotten about, but I don't regret buying them. That just means I've bought too many and I can't get through them as fast as I would like. So this is just the things that I have tried, tested and found they didn't work for me, and that's it. The first thing I might as well start with is perfume. There's been several perfumes in the past which I have regretted buying. I don't own them any longer, but I still own one which was recently bought for me. I think it was for Valentine's or Mother's Day. It might have been Mother's Day this year. My husband spent quite a lot of money on this one here. This is the Gucci Bloom Aqua di Fiori. I had the original Gucci Bloom when it first released and I fell in love with it. So I told him to get me another bottle because the previous bottle was only a 50ml and I wanted a bigger bottle this time. Lo and behold, he gets me this one, which is a different version, a more later release than the original. I did kind of suspect it wasn't the right one when I saw the package in the box, but I just thought, oh, okay, he's done it on purpose. He wants me to try something different. He smelt it and thought that I would go ahead and like it. So before I teared off the cellophane, I could have took it back, but I was silly, wanted to try it and experience it for myself, and this is a big waste of money. It's just not my kind of scent at all. Smelling it today for the first time, I haven't smelt it in about 3 weeks. It doesn't smell too bad, but it's more like a fresh gardeny grass scent. I think I prefer more of a sweet, not overly sweet perfumes, but definitely more sweet than this. I like fresh scents, and this is fresh, but I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. So I really regretted getting this and keeping it. I should have just went with my gut instinct and gone for the original Gucci, which I tried and loved. Second thing is this cream. This was on sale. I think it was originally $40 and I got it with like 25% off. It's by H2O Beauty. I've not heard of them. Please let me know if you guys have heard of them. This is the Water Bright Radiating Moisturiser with SPF 30, vitamin C. It does leave a nice radiance to the skin, but every time I use it, it must be something in the ingredients which makes my skin become very sensitive and kind of stings a little bit. So, I think I've used it maybe twice where it hasn't happened, but when I mix it with other products, I always tend to have a problem with it, which has made me mad because it wasn't cheap. The active ingredients on the back, I can't pronounce them. It says avobenzone 3%, octinoxate 7.5%. These are quite high numbers. Octisalate 5%. I don't know if that's me, but those percents seem quite high, but whatever's in here, if I don't use it sparingly, it makes my skin and it feels quite irritated. So I tend not to use it, but I want to use it up because it wasn't cheap, and it does give your skin a radiance, but this was a regret buy for me. I shouldn't have bought it. Second thing is foundations. I've got 3 foundations. That's kind of disappointed me, but oh well, I suppose that's not too bad. The first one is my iconic London stick. As a stick foundation, I just find it not creamy enough. It's quite stiff. I've had it probably over a year now, and I use it in if I'm in a really big rush and that was the first thing that I pulled out to grab. If I'm just like touching up very quickly, I'll use it for that. But as far as how creamy and how easy it is to blend on the skin, I don't rate it at all. It's, you know, there's drugstore brands which are definitely more creamier and easier to work with than this, and this cost me £30, so very disappointed on the formula. Next foundation stick is a big regret because I've only just bought this, and this is the Bare Minerals, can't find the box. Yeah, this is the Bare Minerals foundation stick. You should know which one it is. It's one of the newer ones, newer foundations. And I was looking for something really lightweight and easy to use while I went away on holiday. That was my whole purpose in getting this. And when I first did a review in it on my channel, I wasn't blown away like other previous reviews that I saw. I hardly saw any negative reviews on it, so I had really high hopes for this. I took it with me to Florida. I used it every day in the daytime, and even before I went to Florida I was trying it out at home. Still my thoughts was like unsure on it, and now after having used it a number of times, I've definitely come to the conclusion it's not for me. It doesn't sit on my skin nice enough for me to like this foundation. I just find it breaks up too easily. It's very creamy, very blendable, but it just breaks up on the skin too easily for me and doesn't give me enough coverage. I know I wanted a light coverage with this, but you have to use a hell of a lot of product to get just a nice even layer to me on the skin. It just didn't work for me, so Tara was right, it didn't work for me. Next foundation is the Hello Happy foundation. It's too matte for my liking. I love the colour, I like the fact it's easy to blend. I do mix it with other foundations when I just want to use it up. I don't hate it, but there's nothing, I never reach for this, and if I never reach for it, there's a reason behind it, and the reason just is I found it very drying around the eye area. It's not very long lasting on the skin. I don't think it claims to be. It is supposed to be a sheer to medium coverage, which it is, but I just find it too much of a dry-in formula for me, and I didn't like the way it looked on my skin compared to the Nabla close-up, which is it has more coverage and it gives your skin a more glowy effect. So and then after seeing the reviews on their newest one, Hello Happy Brightening Flawless Foundation, again not impressed with those reviews. I probably won't be buying any more foundations for the rest of this year, unfortunately. It might be sad to hear. I'm definitely, my mind is working at the moment on coming up with some content which you're still going to find interesting, but definitely still steering away of buying or overbuying stuff which I don't need. Eyeshadow palettes, I did fail. I gave in and bought extra ones, which, you know, enough is enough. I'm not a huge beauty guru. I'm just a mum, a makeup artist who loves doing YouTube as a side hobby, and that's it. Next regret buy, I've got two more things. So next thing is this MAC blusher. This is probably the first high-end blusher that I bought. It's called Sweets for My Sweet. It's an extra dimension blush, and I don't like it anymore. Definitely not my colour. I don't know why I got it for, but I never reach for this anymore. I just don't reach for it. The colour is definitely not one I go for in a blusher at this point in time, so that's my reason why I regret it. I could put it in my kit, I suppose. I don't know. The last thing is this baby. Laura Geller Life Glows On Illuminate palette. This actually sits in my makeup kit because it's not old at all. Unfortunately, that made me sad. It's just the quality of the highlighter. The quality of the highlighters for me isn't there. I think for people who just like a really, really subtle highlighter on their face, then they probably would get on with it. For me, no, I just had to keep digging and digging and digging. I have used it on clients, especially that middle shade there. I have used it on clients. It does work, but it just doesn't perform the way that I would like my highlighters to perform. I have a lot of highlighters which I love, and this wasn't up to par with it, so I do regret spending the £29 on this palette. And that, my lovely people, brings me to the end of my regret buys. Round of applause, because it's been such a long time. I don't think I've ever done a regret buy on my channel. Everything I basically mentioned to you was spot on. It didn't work for me, but there's so many other things that I have tried and not been completely happy with. such as the Smashbox pencil collection I bought at Christmas time. These are definitely not worth your money. I do find them really hard to work with, but there is some in here which haven't let me down, like this lovely champagne colour eyeliner. I use that on my waterline a lot. It also came with this eyeliner, and that really worked still for me. So I didn't really think it was fair just to add in everything which is still got its uses to me, but I'm disappointed in the way they work as well. I don't know, I just didn't want to include, there probably would be a hell of a lot more stuff. All in all, I think I've done extremely well in not having too many products to show you. Bear in mind, I have actually got rid of some stuff in the past. I've passed them down to friends, family, my daughter. I've gave some makeup away online. So, and those are probably a lot of things I do regret buying. I just don't have them on hand to show you. Future reference, note to self, I'll probably save those items before I hand them down and then do the video to show you what I've got rid of. Some of the stuff I don't regret buying. I find myself not reaching for it at all, because for instance my little Smashbox palette, Petals palette, it's a small palette with rose golds and 2 mattes in there. An extremely good palette, like the quality was there, it was amazing, I got it, I loved it, I used it several times and then stopped using it. So I did pass that along. That wasn't a regret buy though, because it was a good palette. So it's hard, it swings and roundabouts. Busy week this week, it's my daughter's prom. Prom is probably nothing new to everyone who's watching. Prom for me is a really big deal, because A, I never had a prom, B, I have one daughter, it's her first prom, so I'm trying to convince her to let me do a quick vlog of me doing her makeup and then showing you guys. You'll definitely get to see her in a dress no matter what. If I can fit the makeup in, I will, but if not, we'll see what happens. It's just so busy. I mean, I also have 3 other girls' makeups to do on that same day. I am dreading that day, because I think that's probably the most I've done in one day in different locations. So yes, your girl's busy. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.